Hello Libra, and welcome to Sincere Tarot. This is your What Do You Need to Know for Mid-May Tarot reading, and our energy, because I'm a Libra too, is, the Lovers. So this could be a romantic relationship, but it can be many different types of partnerships. It can be a business partnership, a kindred spirit with family or friend. It can also represent being balanced with the inner masculine and feminine, because we all have both within us. All right, so let's see. What does Libra need to know for mid-May? I'm not making as many facial expressions as I normally do because my cheek's a little bit sore, okay? But normally I do. Okay, so what we need to know is, so first off, this has to do, the energy in the past of what you need to know about is the Eight of Wands. So that's lots of messages, lots of activity. It could be a lot of creative energy, just lots of things on your plate, but you're also like being really successful. It can be lots of communication with different people, like a larger network, and we're doing an awesome job. So that's the energy in the past leading into what we need to know. Our energy for mid-May is the Three of Wands. So this is also a very creative card, tapping in with your intuition, with new ideas. This is a businesswoman, and she is very, has a good amount of experience. She's confident, and the Three of Wands can represent like taking the first steps and moving forward with something you've been planning for a while, or a creative project, or an idea you've been thinking about for a lot, and you're now beginning to kind of just go beyond the planning stage and moving forward with confidence. So it's what has been kind of maybe keeping you busy or on your mind a lot in the recent past. The energy is the Nine of Cups. It's a big wish that we have, a deep desire that we want to fulfill. So this comes from a place of love and just a desire. And I believe, sometimes in the moment I don't, but I do genuinely believe that any desire that we have is there because we deserve to have it fulfilled. What we need to know is that whatever this is about, there's going to be one more, I wouldn't say setback, I would say a bit of a challenge or tricky territory that you're going to be getting through. This could be due to like other people being negative if this is work. It could be people who are like gossipy, backstabbing. It could be certain people in your friendship group, your community, but also like if you're wanting to move forward with like a business idea, a creative venture, or something like that, it could also have to do with, maybe the organization that you're having to deal with or go through there's just some like petty people in the background that maybe you're having a bad day and kind of taking it out on you, for example. But the thing is, we are going to follow our intuition and actually be able to avoid this. This will be a success, okay? It's just to be prepared for whatever it is, and we'll totally get through it. We're being backed by spirit. We're being guided by our intuitive spirit. It might be something that we didn't necessarily expect would happen, but it's good to be prepared. The outcome is the Four of Wands. So I feel like for me, the energy in many decks, this kind of represents home, but for me in this deck, the outcome to me represents like, okay, you've gotten through that process, right? And now we're just kind of kicking back and relaxing on that level once we've gotten to that level. And we kind of have to wait a little bit, but we're, maybe playing with new ideas, and we're a little bit more relaxed. So, the energy in the past, we had the Eight of Wands, busy, 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 go, go, go. And then we kind of get through this one last little difficulty, and then we're at the next level, and then we can kind of relax a little bit and enjoy ourselves. Like, we'll still get work done, but maybe a few things are kind of put on the back burner just for the time being, and hey, the summer's coming up, so. The thing is, the reason why there's going to be difficulty with this organization, potentially another person, or just a kind of group of people in one of your social networks, is because someone's really closed-minded, and they might actually be a little bit jealous. Like, you can't do that because I'm not doing it, or something like that. It's just like people just having a bad day, petty, But this is a minor arcana, and it's a 5, so that means like it is really just a minor setback, and it's more with communication, because swords can also represent communication. So it could be like, you're trying to email someone to get this thing done, but they're not getting around to it, or they're messaging back unhelpful things, or just annoying things like that. People having a bad day, but you'll totally get through it. We'll get through it. And this is how, because this is aspecting us, we've got the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is someone who is super focused, super determined, may not necessarily be a master yet, like a king, for example, but well onto his journey. Obviously, we're both masculine and feminine, okay, so we're talking about us. But the Knight of Swords is like hyper focused on one particular goal, one particular aspect. So that's all you have to do. Just focus on one big thing at a time, and that's it. Not a million things, which we were kind of doing in the past, but now it's just like hyper focus on navigating this and having direct and straightforward communication. And I would also say like more emails rather than phone calls, but if you make phone calls, ask for, you know, their name and their ID and the time and blah 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 and everything that was recorded. But I find like personally emails work better for that record. Let's get some clarification for what we need to know. But it's looking like a pretty good month. Then like with this main spread, other than the energy of the Lovers, right, I don't really see any big major arcana cards, so it's not necessarily going to be like the busiest month. All right, so yeah, I feel like, okay, so the energy in the past, not just being really busy, but kind of like looking at things from a broader perspective, a little bit detached, because obviously we do have deep desires in our heart, right? But sometimes to actualize them, we do need to use our logic in time, right? You do have a lot of love. You do have a lot of love for this project. So you're moving forward with this new kind of goal you've been thinking about for a while. And honestly, I'm feeling like even though we've got a big desire, I feel like we can have a little bit of a negative, it's either like a negative attitude towards it from us. Like it might be like kind of a lack of self-belief, maybe a bit of self-doubt, but it could also be from other people. Sometimes, unfortunately, we'll have people in our lives that are like not very encouraging of the things that are really important to us, right? But just remember, that's just words, that's just an opinion. You got to go with what feels right. And I think, yeah, there will, look, we've got the Lovers again, aspecting what you need to know. So this like partnership, this link, this bond will happen if it's you with a different organization or a lover or something like that. You know, this might be love for a lot of you, okay? But you know what? If this is love, I know I've been talking about this more like it's a creative project, but in an organization, and these are general readings, of course, but if this is a love relationship or like an actual individual that you know, I just feel like then they are going to be kind of closed-minded, and so like you might not realize that when you're communicating with them, that walking on eggshells, it's like, I'm sorry, being always having to think about, oh, should I say it like this, should I say it like that, should I say it at this time, blah blah blah, like that's not what a healthy relationship is about. And it's because they're really closed-minded, and I think you might just kind of need to realize that. And you know, you will stay above everything, you will, you know, keep the higher ground and keep your dignity, but, and there's only so much you can do, right? I think if this is a love relationship, you might like be kind of giving it second thoughts, even if it's in the back of your head, thinking, not really sure if you're gonna stay with them, and it might be because of like arguments or like people that are arguing around them, like if they've got annoying family members, friends that are just like not respectful and stuff like that. Yeah, but I would say that overall it is about a romantic relationship, or it is about a creative project. So however this resonates with you, right? You also not only want to be focused and determined in one specific direction, but you also want to kind of have a clean slate. And also this Knight of Swords has no baggage, right? It would weigh him down a little bit. So if you have any like preconceived notions about like relationships, or if this is a business or creative project, like, you know, stay focused, stay determined, stay very goal oriented with one goal specifically at a time. But also just be aware that like this is whole new territory for you. So we need to just have as open a mind as possible and have the curiosity of a child. Let's get some advice cards. Advice cards for Libra for this situation. All right, I'm actually just gonna lift them all up. So the first advice card, we have got the Ace of Cups. So like listen to your heart, use your emotions as a compass to guide your decisions. This is something that you really love, or this is someone that you really love. But also this can represent self-love, that self-love comes first, okay? If this isn't a relationship, because that's an individual ace. Okay, Second advice card, we've got the Six of Swords. So, you know, we have gone through a lot of healing and we are going into new territory. But once we get to that new promised land, everything will be totally worth it because there's so much more opportunity. You know, it's like a big fish in a little pond going to the big ocean. Yes, there's a lot more risk, but there's so much more opportunity for growth. And we've done most of the healing that we're going to do around this. The third advice card is the Five of Pentacles. So if you ever have that feeling of being left out, sometimes we will project that onto organizations or people in the community or even a whole town or, you know, a person, and just feel like we are left on the outs. And sometimes that's for a reason, but sometimes it feels bigger than what it is because we hold on to the past. The past hurts. The times in the past where we were rejected and left out in the cold and the dark. Maybe we've experienced grief and loss, right? And so it feels so much bigger than that individual moment calls for because we've got all of this like left over. So again, with that, you know, just try really hard to move through any of those feelings, acknowledge them, integrate them, incorporate them into your being. However, there's a lot of shadow work. You can Google stuff like that. Therapy, stuff like things like of that nature, right? But we need to move through that so that we can move forward in this new relationship, in this new opportunity with the openness and innocence of a child. Fourth advice card, we have got the Two of Swords. There might be a little bit of a delay. It could be that you, if it's you and another person, that you kind of can't come to terms or can't get on the same page or a particular idea or agreement. Like, so you're just kind of just waiting it out because neither of you are really going to give. And if this is something to do with an organization, there just might be a delay in the paperwork, or someone went on a holiday who needed to forward this email, blah, blah, blah. There's just some sort of a minor delay. It's no biggie. It's a minor arcana card, all right? If you'd like a private reading, send me an email or check out my website. That's all in the description below. I do monthly, mid-monthly videos, so definitely make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. And if you're still here, secret bonus card. Ooh, Two of Pentacles. So we've got another two here. It's kind of like 50-50. Things are certainly up in the air, right? So there might be two different ways that this could go. And you also might want to reevaluate your priorities and what's important to you and what direction you want to go in your life in this physical three-dimensional world. All right, have a great month. Bye.